Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take a stack of sources, often unexpected ones, and really pull out those crucial nuggets of knowledge for you. Today we're diving into something that might seem, well, almost trivially small, a single trailer page online. But it's for an absolute giant of cinema, The Godfather, the 1972 classic. Our mission really is to see just how much we can uncover surprising facts, deeper implications, just from this one little snippet, an official trailer page. It's kind of amazing what you can find when you look closely. So get ready, let's see what layers we can peel back here.
Yeah, it's actually fascinating. You look at what seems like a straightforward database entry, right? But the amount of information, the layers of meaning that are curated there, it's quite something. We're not just going to look at what it says about The Godfather. We want to dig into why these specific details are chosen and, how they shape that first impression, that digital identity of the film. And it brings up a really interesting question, I think. How do these big platforms, how do they curate and present information? How do they try to capture the essence of something huge, a massive cultural phenomenon in just, a few lines of text and some data points? It's like a mini masterclass in information design. So let's unpack it.
Okay, let's do that. First impressions. You land on the page, boom, The Godfather, 1972. And right there, those key details jump out. Rated R genres, crime, drama. Now, for you listening, you understand ratings and genres, and R for Godfather. Well, it's more than just a label, isn't it? It sort of signals right away. Maybe the film's realism, its mature themes, it sets a certain tone before you even see anything.
Absolutely. Yeah, those labels, we often just skim past them, but they're doing some heavy lifting there. It's like persuasion almost, setting you up. For a film like The Godfather, known for its, moral complexity, the R isn't just about, say, violence or language. It's hinting at thematic depth, a refusal to maybe simplify difficult truths, and paired with crime, drama, well, that tells you straight up it's not going to be just a shoot 'em up.
Right.
It signals, expect layers, characters, human conflict within this crime world, not just chases. It's a really efficient way to filter expectations. It tells you what kind of investment, maybe intellectual and emotional, is needed.
That's a really good point, the emotional investment. But okay, the thing that really pulls you in, I think, is the synopsis. It says, and I'm quoting here, "The aging patriarch of an organized crime dynasty transfers control of his clandestine empire to his reluctant son." Oh, wow. That one sentence. It's kind of a marvel, isn't it? It sets up so much.
It really is. I mean, from an information design view, that sentence is gold. It conveys this huge narrative arc, the core conflict, so efficiently. Think about the words, aging patriarch. Okay, right away you get history, authority, maybe some vulnerability creeping in, organized crime dynasty. That's not just a gang. It implies structure, legacy, something heavy being passed down, a dangerous inheritance. But the real kicker, for me anyway, is his reluctant son.
Yes.
That one word, reluctant. It just packs such a punch. It immediately hints at this massive internal conflict for the character, right? A rejection of destiny, maybe? A moral struggle?
Definitely.
It tells you it's not just a simple business succession. It's a son grappling with something huge, something he might not even want. And that reluctance, that's the hook. It promises psychological depth, character transformation. It invites you into that internal world.
That phrase, reluctant son, I hadn't maybe thought about just how much weight that single word carries. But it makes me wonder, could a short phrase like that, in a tiny synopsis, ever risk, oversimplifying the journey for someone new to the film? Or is that brevity exactly why it's so brilliant?
That's a great question. It's concise, definitely. But I'd argue it's strategically brilliant because it's concise. It doesn't really oversimplify, I don't think. It does the opposite. It sparks curiosity.
Right.
See, the goal of a synopsis like this isn't a full critique, right? It's to pull you in. By calling the son reluctant, it creates an instant puzzle. It makes you, the potential viewer, ask questions. Why? Why reluctant? What's the choice? What happens to him?
Right, you want the answers.
Exactly. That active questioning is way more engaging than just being told everything up front. It's a kind of calculated ambiguity, maybe. It invites you into the film to find out rather than spelling it all out.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've pulled apart the film's essence from just those few words. But now let's zoom out a bit. Let's look at the platform itself. Where are we seeing this? It's not just any page. It's an official trailer page from IMDb. We all know IMDb, this huge database. But the source reminds us explicitly it's an Amazon company. And look at the copyright, 1990, 2025. That longevity. 3.5 decades? That feels incredibly significant, doesn't it?
Oh, it's more than significant. It's, well, foundational, really. The deep dive here isn't just how old IMDb is, but how its sheer persistence, its presence, has effectively standardized how we even talk about film data online, globally.
Standardized. Wow.
Yeah. IMDb hasn't just recorded film history, it's actively shaped how we categorize films, how we discover them, maybe even how we judge them in this digital world. That long history, that copyright range, it gives its presentation of The Godfather or any film this kind of authority. It's the trusted source for millions. And the Amazon company tag. That's not just branding. It hints at the massive infrastructure, the data power, the resources behind its reliability and reach. It's like the silent engine making it all possible.
Standardizing metadata language.
Yeah.
That's a really powerful idea. It's not just listing facts, it's setting the grammar for film info online.
Yeah.
And thinking about that global infrastructure, it makes total sense that the reach isn't just English, right? If the source points out the language support, fully supported in U.S. English, okay, but then partially supported in this huge range: French, German, Hindi, Italian, Portuguese, Spanish, multiple versions of Spanish even.
Exactly. And that list isn't just, a technical footnote. It's a window into strategy, into the complexities of scaling a database like this globally.
Yeah.
The difference between fully and partially supported, that's really revealing from an information architecture perspective. Well, fully supported likely means the whole interface, all the help pages, everything is translated, full localization. Partially supported suggests maybe a more tiered approach. You get the core data translated, titles, synopsis, cast essential stuff. Even if the entire site experience isn't perfectly localized in every single language, it's a smart balance. It's a clever way to maximize global reach without, maybe spending resources translating every single button into every language immediately. It acknowledges that cinema is universal, but also that markets have different sizes or priorities.
Right, like the different French and Spanish versions.
Precisely. That acknowledges regional nuances. Canadian French, Mexican Spanish, they're different. And seeing Hindi there, that points directly to India, a massive film market. It shows a commitment to access in these huge regions.
Yeah.
It proves that even this simple page is designed with a global audience in mind. Thinking about you wherever you might be searching from, it really highlights how our access to culture is often shaped by how well information is presented and, crucially, localized.
So when we talk about a film's digital footprint, it's really the sum of all these carefully chosen bits of data: the genre tags, a synopsis, a rating, even the copyright dates and language options. All that together forms how this masterpiece, The Godfather, kind of lives online, how it gets discovered. It's like its online ID, separate from the film reels. That's a huge task for a platform to manage, especially for something so iconic.
Precisely. And that term cultural artifact is key here. We're not just talking about a movie file. We're talking about how this specific digital snapshot, these few lines, these tags, these options, helps maintain The Godfather's status as a cultural artifact in the internet age. It shapes how new generations first encounter its legacy, The platform's curation, how carefully they do it, becomes almost part of the film's ongoing story. It guides our expectations, frames its importance globally. It's subtle, maybe, but it's a powerful influence on cultural memory. Imagine if the page was sloppy or incomplete, it could diminish the film's perceived weight online. A good page elevates it.
It's really incredible, isn't it? How much thought, how much intention goes into these details we usually just glance over. So just from this one brief online entry, this snapshot of a trailer page, we've managed to pull out the core of the film's story, its genre, its rating. But also, we've gotten this glimpse into the huge global machinery that makes film info accessible to, well, potentially billions. It just underscores the incredible density of curated information. Even tiny details like copyright dates or languages tell their own big stories.
Yeah, and this whole exercise, this deep dive, it leaves us with a really important question, I think, something for you to chew on later. How much can we really understand about something so complex, so rich, a groundbreaking film like The Godfather, just from its most distilled digital form? And, maybe more critically, how does a platform like IMDb, by giving us these neat summaries, these tags, this context, how does it subtly shape our very first perception? Does it maybe even influence whether we decide to watch the film or not? Does it enhance how we see it, or maybe limit it in some ways? So here's a little challenge, a provocative thought maybe to take with you. The next time you're browsing online, looking up a movie, reading a description, checking a rating, Pause for just a second. Try to see beyond the surface text. Consider those invisible layers, the intention behind each word, each tag, each language option. Think of them not just as data, but as little signposts, carefully placed, hinting at much bigger worlds beyond the screen and guiding your own journey through this vast landscape of film and digital information.